Alright, so I'm going to be making a video on how to drift for beginners, but before I make that video, I wanted to throw together a video showing you guys what I think is the best drift car for beginners. If you guys like this video or you found it helpful, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. Let's get into this video. So just go ahead and hop into the auto show, go over to Nissan, and we're going to go ahead and pick up, oh my god, wrong button. We're going to go ahead and pick up this 240 right here. It's an S13 93. Go ahead and pick that up. It's about 25 grand. You can go ahead and pick a color, any color, it don't matter. I'm gonna go ahead and go with white. Now, I can't really tell what the difference is in between these colors, right? One looks a little more glossy, doesn't really matter. I'm gonna go with the glossy paint. Alright, so once you got your paint, we're gonna go ahead and jump straight into upgrades. Right off the bat, we're gonna swap the motor. Alright, so you're going to go over to conversion, engine swap, and we're looking for that 6.2 liter V8. Now, I know what some of you veterans are thinking. You're like, Forza, no! Why are you telling them to put a V8 in this car? Just keep it stock and build it. Come on, man, they don't need all that power. But hear this, check it out, check it out. If they throw a V8 in it, they're going to have a nice, even torque curve. Look at that torque curve. It's the green one. It's super even. They're not going to be having to rape the motor, keeping it up top so they can drift. And we're going to keep it at a low horsepower. So this is the perfect setup for a beginner. So go ahead, 6.2. I'm going to... Usually I supercharge them, but since this is a video for beginners, we're going to stay naturally aspirated. I'm going to see what that builds to real quick. We'll just go ahead and throw intake cone on it, race intake cone, race intake manifold, race injectors, race coil packs, race exhaust, and then we're going to go with a lightweight flywheel. And let's see what that leaves us at. It leaves us at 480. I kind of wanted to hit 500. Let's see if this oil cooler somehow is going to give us more horsepower. Let's see if it's going to get us up to 500. What does that say? 486. No. We'll still put it on there. I guess we can bore the block out a little bit. Maybe one step. I just want to get this thing to 500. 499. Okay, we're going to go race block. What does this bore out to? 7 liter? My god. You got a 7 liter V8, man. Alright, so if that went too fast, just go back, man. Just go back and put it on slow mode. You'll be good. So now that we've got the motor built, we're going to come over here to platform and handling. Go ahead and throw those race brakes on there. Some drift coils. We'll go ahead and throw the anti-roll bars on there. I'm gonna go ahead and go with a half cage, so it's this one right here, and then I'm going to fully weight reduct it. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and go into drivetrain. We're gonna go ahead and go into clutch. We're gonna go with that 4-puck clutch. We're gonna get a race transmission so we can tune our gears. Drive shaft doesn't really matter, but we're gonna go with a lighter one because why not, right? And then differential, this is key. Make sure you get your race differential because we're gonna lock it up. We're gonna make it a welded. And then wheels, this is purely for aesthetic reasons, so whatever you fancy, go ahead and slap it on there. I think I'm gonna go with some good old TE37s. That should be all the way at the end over here. There they are. I'm gonna make them 17s. That's a good wheel size for an S13. Go on then. Front and rear, 17. The track width, this is like putting spacers on your car. It's for aesthetic reasons, but like it looks so good, and I've been wanting this in Forza for so long. We're slapping those on there. If you don't have the cash, don't worry about it. You don't need this. But it does make the car look 100% better. Fills in that wheel well, and it's just like, oh, that's good looking, doggy. God. Like, they should have done this in the beginning, dude. Come on, man. Look at that. It looks so good. But you see those skinny little tires on there? We got to swap those out. We only have 500 horsepower, so maybe we'll go with 215 up front. And if it lets me, I'll go 235 in the back. Yeah, it goes from 215 to 255. That kind of sucks, but we're gonna run with it. What I'll do to like get what I want is I'll run camber in the rear, so it'll have less tire on the ground. So I'll run the 255, but that means I have to run camber in the rear. No big deal. That's another thing I wish they would do in Forza. Like, let every tire size be available. Like, if I can fit a 255, why can't I fit a 235, dude? Come on, man. Alright, on to the next thing. Okay, aero and appearance. This is strictly for aesthetic reasons. We're not doing 200 miles an hour. It doesn't matter. But if you have a certain body kit that you like, go ahead and throw it on. I'm going to leave mine stock because, you know, LS, stock body, it just, I don't know. For me, it matches, you know. I don't want it to look super JDM and then have like an LS in it. So it's going to look like super USDM, bro. So that's pretty much it for the build. We have a naturally aspirated 500 and I think it was like 7 horsepower, 7-liter V8. This thing is gonna rip. Tire pressure, I'm gonna have to play with this car a little bit and see if I want to up my rear tire pressure, but I don't know if I will or if I won't. We'll see. Okay, gearing, I'm gonna leave that alone for now because I haven't driven the car yet. I don't know if it's too long, too short, what I need to do with it. If it's perfect, I don't know. Alignment, straight off the bat or right off the bat? Comment below. Right off the bat, straight off the bat, whatever it is, you're gonna go ahead and leave your camber just the way it is. Normally, what I would do is I would put this at 0, maybe even like positive 0.2 for extra traction. But for some reason, Horizon 4 has stupid amounts of grip. So I've been running negative camber, and we're running 255s in the rear, so we wanted to have less tire in the back. So -5 up front, -1.5 in the rear. That's perfect. Toe in up front, I'm gonna leave it alone right now, but if I notice that it's too snappy or too slow, like to transition, I'll mess with my toe. So toe out would make it more like quick to transition. Toe in up front would make it slower to transition. So it just depends on what I want to do. I got to drive the car a little bit. In the rear, I usually add like -0.1 degree of toe in the rear just for a little bit extra stability. But I'm going to leave it alone because it's a lower horsepower car. I have a ton of tire in the back, so I just got to drive it and see. My front caster, since I'm on a controller, I'm going to lower it down to about 6, maybe 5.5. Yeah, let's do 5.5. Caster just helps with self-steer, but since we're on a controller, like the joystick throw is like so small, like you don't need it. Alright, so for these anti-roll bars, I like to run them softer. We're just gonna go ahead and much softer in the rear than in the front, just so that rear end can like roll over and stay in drift. Some people might like to run them stiffer, but this is my setup and this is what I think you should be running, dog. Like, this is what you should be running, dude. Alright, springs, same thing. Run them soft, nice and soft, but not too soft. I'm not going to an exact number, but if you want to follow my exact number, just press pause and look at the number there. I just look at it, I eyeball it, you know? I'm like, alright, that looks good. Been doing this for years, man. For like 8 years. So it's just like, I don't need numbers, bro. Alright. So dampening, same thing. Bump stiffness, same thing. Bump stiffness, I usually run softer than my rebound stiffness, as you can see up there. Aero, you're gonna leave it alone. If you have a high horsepower car and you have a wing on, you can add some cornering downforce just to give you a little bit extra grip, but it's probably not even needed in this game because it's Horizon. There's a ton of grip, so we're just gonna go ahead and skip aero. Brake, now for a beginner you're not gonna need this, but I'm gonna put this in the video just so you know. So check it out. As you get better, you're gonna come across friends that like to drift, right? And when you drift with friends, you do something they call tandem. So tandem drifting is when 2 cars or multiple cars are drifting literally door to door, like trying to get as close as they possibly can to one another and just like stay on that same line. So for the follow car to be able to stay right up on the lead car, you're gonna have to do what people call left foot braking. So it's where you're on the gas and on the brake at the same time, modulating the two, so you can stay right behind him without like completely plowing into his car, or without like super falling back, you know. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run 25% rear, so that creates a brake bias, and I have more braking force up front that I do in the rear, so I can slow the car down without really slowing my wheel speed down. The brakes are really good in this game, so I actually lower the clamping force down a little bit to about 85. Differential, super key, make sure to lock it up 100%. Acceleration and deceleration, and that's the tune. Alright, so that's gonna wrap it up for the build and tune on what I believe is the best beginner's drift car. I didn't fine tune my gearing. If you want to see me fine tune my gearing, be sure to watch my next video that's coming out either today or tomorrow. It's going to be titled How to Drift for Beginners. So be sure to watch that. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.